Alrighty, this is year 8 Yu-Gi-Oh tournament, which is kind of crazy to think that we've done it for 8 years. That's Nathan. Okay, so I played Paleo Frog. I played 60 cards. For our ban list, we put Toad to 2, which was originally at 1. Thanks, Konami. And we also put Grass to 1. I had played Toad in, or Paleo Frog, a 60 card build in year 6, and I didn't play it with Grass because Grass was banned at that point. And I really wanted to play this build with the 60 card with Grass. And now that I've done it, I don't have to play this deck ever again. So.
How many times did you resolve Grass today?
I resolved Grass once against Cameron, and the other time that would have been beautiful to resolve Grass was against Nathan, who did incredible. And then of course Nathan ashed it, so great.
No,
that's okay.
No, that's sad.
That's okay. That's right. So this is the deck pro. It's pretty standard. 3 Swap Frog, 3 Dupe Frog, and 2 Ronin Totem. Some people like playing 3 and 60 card, but I thought 2 was fine. I hated drawing this, and I drew it, so that's a bummer. I hope that wouldn't happen, but that's standard for pretty much every Frog build. Something else that I didn't do this time that I think a lot of people have done is play 3 Backjack. I only played 2. I didn't want to draw it. I always wanted to be sent, whether that was with Grass, off of Reasoning, off of Fiend Griefing. Never wanted to draw it. You can draw it and then just link it off with Link Rebo and then get its effect, but it always conflicted with the Frog. If I had a Frog, I would rather have the Frog than this. So that's why I only played 2. That's controversial, but in that place you can just play a trap. So I thought that the more traps you play, the more options that you have. I think options, especially with trap decks, are better than just like having cards that can get you to the traps. I think options are more better, but that's just my opinion. 3 Desires. I drew this card like it was my day job. This was awesome. I drew it in so many opening hands. It's incredible. And 60 cards, I mean, you can activate 2 Desires and be completely fine, especially if like you don't have to worry about banishing the Rodents. I didn't have an issue with that. That was incredible. And then the power 1-ofs, 1 Grass, 1 Card of Demise, 1 Reasoning, 1 Scapegoat, 1 Monster Reborn, and 1 Foolish Burial. The Grass is self-explanatory. You mill 20, you win the game. Card of Demise is a comeback card. I never saw it today, but that's okay. In theory, this card's really good, and I wouldn't cut it. Reasoning came up clutch today. When you activate it, most people in Frogs just call 2. If you hit the Backjack, though, Backjack's level 1, and you'll get the Backjack to special summon, and then you can link it off to Link Rebo. Otherwise, like if you send the Frog, it just goes to grave, and you want it in grave anyways. So Reasoning just made sense, and then you just mill all your trap cards, and they also go to grave too. So Reasoning just made way too much sense not to play. Scapegoat I was not going to play because I thought it took up too many extra deck spots. And then last night I decided, well, I already have 5 power 1-ofs, I might as well play 6, and then this card actually won me a game, so that's nice. Monster Reborn. Monster Reborn, if you open up Swap and Monster Reborn, you get Toad. It's also a good combat card. You can take one of your opponent's monsters. Its utility is nice, and I thought it worked out really well. And then the Foolish Burial, you can also send Backcheck off of that, or Ronin, or whatever cards you want. It's also really good at baiting Ash. Those are all the spells. 10 monsters, 9 spells, and 41 traps. So here's the Paleo lineup. 3 Morella, 3 Canadia, 3 Dynamiscus, 3 Olenoides, and 2 Leoncolia. These are the best Paleos. If anyone says that the other Paleos are good, they're lying to you. That's just honesty. They're just bad. They're like attack modifiers, whatever, and those aren't good. Dynamiscus was really good. It's always good if you open 2 of them, because just keep 1 in hand, then you can discard both and you have 2 in grave. That's really strong. Canadia was fine. It's really good before they link summon, but once they begin the link summoning process, it gets worse. So it's better to open. If you don't open, it's just not that great. I would usually side it out going second. Morella's always strange because you can send another Paleo and get a Paleo effect during your turn, but it's also good to set a card like Lost Wind. You can even send another card I'm citing as Titanocider. So I think it's good. Sometimes I would just like have 1, then you can still trap trick to it. The 3 Olenoids was tough because I didn't know how many people were going to be playing back row, and so I tend to side this out against decks that I didn't feel it was good, but I think it was worth maining. I even thought about just like maining 2 of it and not even siding the 3rd, but I think this was the right choice. And then the 2 Leoncolia, so you can trap trick to it. That's why I played the 2, and then just in case you do banish 2 Ronin, you can get to it and then get one of the Ronins back, so you can at least somewhat do Frog plays. And then you can also just like add back powerful trap cards like Lost Wind that you banish off of Desires, or a Ronin that you already used. So that's it for the Paleos. I won't think I would change any of the ratios for those, and I wouldn't change any of the monster or spell ratios so far. As for the like power traps, I guess you can call them before the counter traps, Titanocider, Torrential Tribute, Trap Trick, Lost Wind, Fiend Griefing, Compulse, and Different Dimension Ground. I thought all of these were worth playing at 3, and I thought at one point what I had done was had just 2 Titanocider and 2 Compulse, and with those 2 cards I played Breakthrough Skill. I found that Breakthrough Skill wasn't nearly as impactful. I'm not playing any Floodgates in this deck, mostly because I found Floodgates were counterintuitive to the strategy. If you're going to play 60 cards, you want all your cards to be impactful the exact time you activate them, and with Floodgates, like, you can have a Floodgate, if you top take a Floodgate, it's not going to do enough, I found. And it was also a pain. No one likes playing against Floodgates, and I want to have a fun time playing. Appreciate it. Yeah, I decided no Floodgates, no Inspector Border. That's another card I considered. I decided not to play that either. Inspector Border is gnarly, but it's no fun to play against when plays would normally not get stopped. Different Dimension Ground just stop turns. This card's insane. And all these are normal traps, so you can get them all off Trap Trick. And that utility, I think, was incredibly powerful. 3 Fiend Griefing was fine. I tend to side out that entire engine with Backjack when going second. But everything was great. Titanocide was from the new set, from Eternity Code. This card is awesome, especially because you don't have to banish it like Lost Wind. It just keeps recurring. So in a grind game, it's incredible. So that's it for the power traps. And then for the counter traps, I played 3 Judgment and 3 Strike, which I will pull up here. I thought about playing 3 Warning as well, just to do it to him. But yeah, the strikes are really good. I just feel like it stops summons, it stops effects. I think it's really good against Steel Fiber. Judgment was against Red Reboot because I knew I was going to see Red Reboot, and honestly, I was very honored to see how many people cited Red Reboot because they knew that I was going to be playing this deck. That makes me feel good. So Judgment came up. I didn't negate a Red Reboot. Of course, the other time I didn't negate Red Reboot, I lost. But
sad.
That's either here nor there. And then, of course, Strike is good. The Warning would be nice, but I wasn't worried about anything that wasn't that Strike couldn't negate summon wise. There wasn't any fusion decks or anything like that. So Warning could be good in the future, but I think that 6 Psalms was enough, and I saw them enough. As for that's all 60 cards. I don't think I would change anything. There's other cards I considered for sure, but I was really happy with how this played out. No complaints. To the extra deck, 2 Toad. Normally this would be at 1, but we put it to 2 on our list. Thank you guys for voting that way. Appreciate it.
Gotcha.
Did it
1
ever come
Opabinia.
up, though?
Oh, did what?
Did it ever come up where you were you needed that second Toad?
Never that I needed it. When summoning 2, it just guaranteed that I won the game. You can play with just 1 Toad, but the second Toad just gives you that security blanket. If I need the extra Toad, I can have it.
Gotcha.
The 3 Toads is just you can just summon Toads whatever the hell you want, right? They're just there.
Right.
So 2, you are forced to resource game a little bit more. But again, when you have power traps that just put the effects to Lost Wind and Titanocide to activate them in the damage step, and then you just net advantage when you shouldn't be. It made it so that Totally Awesome didn't need to be as impactful as it usually had been. I never used these 2, but in theory they're great, especially Opabinia because it's unaffected by monster effects. And then Alamo Icarus is for really niche scenarios. I wouldn't cut it, but I guess you could argue another card there. Other rank 2s, Sky Cavalry, whatever you pronounce this guy. I should have made it, I didn't, and I lost that duel. So definitely is a good card. The Phoenix Cat Shark combo is really cool. This is how you OTK. So you have a Toad, and you make these 2, make him attack twice, and then you doubles attack, so it's 3,000 twice, and then 2,200 for game. That was pretty cool. And the F-Zero, the one time I tried to make it be cool, I lost. So it didn't. I mean, I just thought it'd be cool. But oh, look at me! I can summon Utopic Future, and then it was be awesome. And then it just didn't do anything. So I would definitely cut this card. It was just kind of for the memes. Yeah, I don't know what I would put in place of here. Maybe you put in Crumble logos. I think it's number 45, or another Link monster. That's it for the XYZs, and then off to the Links. Link Rebo was for Backjack, and then also for the Scapegoat combo. Same with Foxy Dragon and Link Spider. And then the only Link 4 I had, this definitely should be Borrelsword, but I only had Borreload. So I played Borreload, and it was fine, but Borrelsword would have just won me games, and so I should have just played Borrelsword. And then the last 3 I played was Mistar Boy, which came up once, and it did help me win the duel. It's again, for weird scenarios where you need the extra boost from Toad, but you don't really have enough to make another XYZ. It's kind of just strange scenarios for that. And then Lambda and Omega for the side deck because I played Gamma. And oftentimes you just set 4 traps and you have a Gamma in hand, and so Gamma's still live. And then if you wanted to, if you had a weird scenario, you just make Lambda, and then Gamma again is still live. If you activate it on your turn, you can just make Omega. So These never came up, but I think I would still play them as long as I was still playing Gamma. So after the side deck was, another thing I didn't play was any hand traps, and after reading Road to the King, Patrick Hoban convinced me that I shouldn't play hand traps. I'm sorry, Patrick Hoban. I should have played hand traps.
You should have played hand traps. Hand traps are broken.
Hand traps are good. But in 60 cards, it was like, well, do I really want to see, like, only play 6 of them and, like, see them kind of, like, offhandedly? I wanted to, like, for sure guarantee I saw them going second. So because of that, I played 9. Played 3 Ash, 3 Gamma with the driver, and then 3 Valor. I didn't play any Ogre. I thought Ogre wasn't nearly as impactful. I knew actually it would be good against Trevor's deck. But besides that, I just thought, like, if I can Gamma someone, Gamma's incredible.
Yeah,
I don't.
Gamma me, so it didn't matter.
Yeah, Gamma worked out. I thought Valor was more impactful because it just negates something. I didn't really mind that it had to be on my opponent's turn when I activated it. I can see the argument for Ogre. Ogre's really good against my deck. It's really good against hitting Toad. And then Blossom is just fantastic for, I mean, you hit Desires or whatever card. The utility of Ash Blossom, I think, is going to be hard to beat until it gets power cut, and I don't see that coming anytime soon. And the last 5 cards I played, 3 evenly matched. This could have been Dark Ruler. It could have been, but I played evenly matched, and I never resolved it. I only saw it twice, and it just really wasn't very good in each of those scenarios. I don't really know what to think. I don't know what to think of this card. I really don't. Like, in theory, it seems great. Like, you just banish all your opponent's cards. But I don't know. I'd think about this card more. And then 2 Wiretap, because I knew I was going to see Red Reboot, and I did Wiretap a Red Reboot. So that felt good. But besides that, that was the 15 cards. I don't think I would change much of anything. I just really wanted to play Paleo Frog with Grass, and that's what it comes down to. So now I can play whatever the hell I want next time. Hallelujah.
That's how I'm feeling.
I love this deck, that's for sure. I think frogs are really fun. I think their art is really cool. I think by design they're really fun. But that's all. So thanks.